Kids are dicks. So what's up, guys? Didn't do movie club last week, just didn't get around to editing it with first week of school and everything, but nobody really gives a shit because they're here to talk about a movie. And this week for movie club, we watched the movie Carrie, the 1976 version. I know there's going to be like another version coming out that'll be like the third Carrie movie out. I'm usually not a fan of remakes, but honestly, I think this movie will be pretty good because Chloe Grace Moretz is actually pretty awesome, so I'm looking forward to seeing how she does in the whole thing. But I think she's really good, and I think they cast her really well for this time, so I'm hoping this remake will be good, and honestly, I think it kind of needed it. So let's jump into this movie. So I've seen the movie Carrie before, and I was just kind of like watching it again just to see how it is, and honestly, I didn't know Brian De Palma directed it. I didn't know John Travolta was in it, so obviously when I watched this, I was really young, and I didn't know who these people were. So watching it again, I have to say it was okay. It was the greatest horror movie I've seen, but this was also 1976, so take that with what you will. So the movie starts out, and Carrie's like playing volleyball, and she screws up, and like all the popular girls all turn on her, and all say, "You suck," blah, 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 and they're just fucking cunts to her, pretty much. And yes, I feel it was appropriate to use the word cunts for them because these chicks were literally cunts. Carrie's so secluded and so, like, kept in a nutshell by her mom that when she gets her period for the first time in the shower, she has no idea what's going on. She thinks she's bleeding to death. And all the girls just start making fun of her and picking on her. And luckily, like, a teacher comes by and helps her out and, like, gets onto all the girls and tells them, "You guys are all mean to her. Do you understand what's going on? That's just isn't right. How would you feel?" Now, one of them actually feels bad and, like, leads us into something that happens later on, but most of them are still just fucking bitches and cunts throughout the rest of the movie. And we can see Carrie go home, and she tells her mom, she's like, "Why didn't you tell me about this? I didn't know what was going on." And her mom is just like fucking religious fundamentalist bitch who's just like, "You're evil, you're bleeding, next will come the boys, you're a sinner," and she's fucking ludicrous. She's fucking nuts the whole time. She's the definition of crazy, pretty much. I mean, that's obviously what breeds fucking serial killers, is this shit. So somehow, like, through all Carrie's, like, bullying at home and through school, she, like, realizes she has telekinetic powers. Not sure how she got it, but somehow she got telekinetic powers, and she's learning to, like, use them, and she's learning to control them, and she kind of keeps them mellow to a point in the movie where she just gets so pissed off that she just unleashes hell upon this whole school. And honestly, it was rightfully so. I didn't feel bad for most of those people that died in the school. Now, this movie does differ very much from the book, is what I've been reading, so I'm kind of waiting to see how the new one's going to be, because it sounds like it's going to be more true to the book. But Brian De Palma didn't really have the money to, like, do it just like that. He couldn't go around blowing up gas stations and stuff. I mean, it was expensive, and this was 1976, and I don't think Brian De Palma was that big of a director back then. The only thing that gets me is I'm not really sure about the ending. I don't understand if, like, all those people were actually laughing at her, or she thought they were all actually laughing at her. And I think that would, like, really change the movie, but in her mind, I think she thought everybody was laughing at her, and that's what drove her to finish those fuckers, pretty much. It took a lot of, like, the psycho elements out of it. Like, it was called Bates High School, for God's sakes. Norman Bates, Bates High School. Every time she used, like, her telekinesis power, you can hear, like, the psycho music going off. So, like I said, this movie's okay. It's a good story, no less, and it's well worth watching, for sure. Or at least watch it once. You'll probably call it corny because it's so old. And like I said, it was Stephen King's first book that got put into a movie, and then we got, like, Pet Sematary. Oh, The Shining, which is fucking amazing. So, kudos to Carrie for, like, opening the door for all these great horror movies that Stephen King wrote to be adapted into movies. Granted, I think Stephen King movies are 50-50, but I fucking love The Shining, even though Kubrick didn't follow The Shining at all. I still think he did a really great job at it. But great pick this week, Trish. I hope you didn't get too scared from it. I can't wait to see what we do next week, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.